So this question is there. Why do we need to worship a guru? Forget about that. Why do we need a guru first? This kind of question comes. Rather, this kind of question never comes when you are in any practical need in the society. Suppose I have some medical problem. First thing all of us try is, we try to solve it ourselves. We take some extra rest, that is the easiest thing we do. Or we drink some hot water, something. And when it doesn't get solved and start becoming worse, then we run to the doctor. It's true, doctors also sometimes, somebody was telling a story. Not story, is a fact. 2 days ago it happened. Somebody had a constipation problem. Having constipation. So he was getting a lot of pain in the stomach. It happened here only. I don't know the name of the hospital. Then the doctor wanted to gave him 11 injections for painkiller. But the stomach pain did not reduce. It was pain. So finally what the doctor said, no, there may be something in the stomach, and did a full CT scan of the stomach, trying to locate what is the problem, and made a bill of 16,000 rupees total. Because he knew his insurance was 1.5 lakh, he was targeting that. You know that? In a hospital you go and tell this is his insurance, they will first finish that. Because it's a, for them, for you are not paying, insurance company is paying. It's a free money they take. Sometimes private hospital it happens. Then what happened was they were targeting full 1.5 lakh. They were on the course of it. Nothing had happened. Constipation and stomach pain. So somehow his mother landed in the town. She came to the hospital. Already 11 injections are over. CT scan is going on. That means something is serious. Somebody said, come, your son is there in hospital. So she landed up in the city, nearby town. And she asked, what happened to you? She said, Mama, constipation. So she went to some place and she made kasaya. Kasaya, some milk and some things we mixed together, water and all, kasaya. And she gave him, he took that kasaya, his stomach cleared. He ran out of the hospital. Oh, what purpose they kept him, he never understood. So not that doctors are always perfect, but overall, it's not a joke, it's a very developed field of science. I spend time. Sometimes, everywhere, exceptions are there. Every rule has a, if only this kind of thing doctors are doing, then nobody will ever go to hospital. They don't do like it. We know practically we all benefit. Correct? We all know that. They are doing their work. So now what happened was that, so when we have a medical problem, we do go to a doctor. When you have a legal problem, we always consult an expert lawyer. What do you think the agreement should be? Or how I have to make that, correct? You will consult a lawyer. Now you have your income tax problem, you will consult a chartered accountant. You want to learn engineering, you went to an engineering college. You didn't think I will learn that for some practical. Same way, you want to learn about spiritual science, but don't want a guru, that's not correct. It's not legitimate. It's not at all sensible. But somehow in this field it has happened. I am recently very surprised to note how the 16th chapter, yesterday I noted that, but everybody was busy in his services. You could hear in the services area also, the class? Yes. It was clear? Yeah. But there, you don't know, but so many sounds, whether anybody is able to hear me. So I was just closing and speaking and throwing at who can hear. I'm going to look at because you people know. So what happened? You will have that experience when you give class to a large audience, in a big auditorium when you are there, you can't see one person but everybody is seeing you because you can't see eye to eye with anybody. The distance is so high. It's a problem in a mass audience. You're speaking to the air. You can't see. Suppose you're in an auditorium 10,000, you can't see one person because they're all at a distance. And you don't know who is hearing you also. So So now this is legitimate thing that we need. So Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says something which I noted yesterday. It's a very important point to note. He says, Ye Shastra Vidhi Usarjya. Somebody gives up Shastra Vidhi. Shastra Vidhi means words of the great authority in the history. Shastra is nothing but collection of statement of authorities. Just like we said, Newton said this, Einstein said this. This is the Shastra Vidhi as per the modern science. In the Vedic science, there are other experts. Today, because there is no training of that, nobody knows. Everybody knows Einstein, Newton. We are not saying no, they have done great work, you have to know them. But why not know these people, Srila Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Madhvacharya? Nobody knows. And particularly people like great acharyas, they never keep the movement in their name. You see, Ramakrishna Mission, Chaitanya Mission, all everybody puts his name first. Here, Hare Krishna Mission, his name is not there only. Because a genuine acharya is in the background. In fact, many people know ISKCON, everything. Nobody knows who is Prabhupada. But as a nature, he keeps himself behind. But then, you cannot hide, a person's quality. If it is real, it comes out. Those who have shallow quality, they are always self-advertising. They are always seeking some kind of recognition in the society. But acharyas, like in Prabhupada time, his accomplishment was magical. One person asked Srila Prabhupada, Swamiji, can you show some magic? And what Prabhupada said? Prabhupada said, yes. See, who are you? I am from Australia. And who are you? I am from America. Who are you? I am from Germany. Prabhupada said, this is my magic. So nice. People don't understand, isn't it nice? Knowledge of the magic is very difficult. Today in the modern day world, to convince somebody Krishna is there and make him dedicate himself to serve Krishna, isn't it magical? If you convince some people, 100 people, isn't it magical? People say this is unbelievable. He did that. So this is a great contribution actually, which is very difficult. Very difficult to do. It is said in the scripture, to make a meat eater become a devotee of the Lord is extremely difficult. In India, people are very pious. Already at home they are worshipping Krishna. For them, if you encourage, that is one. It's a good work. But suppose you are touching a person whose father also never knew the name of Krishna. It's wonderful. Isn't it? Isn't it wonderful? There was one more businessman, he asked Prabhupada, how do I, understand? Prabhupada said, see, you can understand, it's not very difficult. You are a businessman? He said, yes, I am a businessman. See, I started business with $8 and today it is $8 billion within 4 years. Isn't it wonderful? He started calculating 4 years, $8, $8 billion. Yes, it is wonderful. Okay? See, God is so kind that the devotees are putting forward God in the front. And the Lord puts forward the devotee in the front. That is how the sweet relation is. So this book was very nice. So yeah. Ye Shastra Vidhi Usarjya. So Krishna said, if somebody gives us the guidance of the authorities in the Vedas, Vardate Kamakarinaha, and he does on his own. Now what are the authorities that are to also be given by the Acharya? Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatrikim Vidhimina Ekantaki Harer Bhakti Utpadeti Kalpate. If we don't consult Shruti, the Vedas, Smriti, the Puranas, Pancharatri, the Vidhi of worship, Ekantaki Harer Bhakti, you don't consult the authorized scriptures, the Vedic bodies, Shruti, Smriti, Purana, Adi. Okay? Pancharatra. This is the authority in the Vedic line. You don't consult them. And Shruti, Smriti, Purana, Adi, the Shruti, Smriti, Purana is giving you theoretical knowledge. And Pancharatra gives practical knowledge. Because now when you worship the Lord, it is practical. And there is theoretical. We are hearing and reading. So the theory and practice has to be combined. So Shruti, Smriti, Purana, Adi, Pancharatrikim Vidhimina. You forget all these things. Ekant ki Hare Bhakti. I worship on my own. Sanatana Goswami, great Acharya, says, Utpadeti Kalpate will create havoc in the society. Correct? It's not easy. So we should understand this fact. So here Krishna says that Ye Shastra Vidim Usrajya. Somebody says, I don't need to follow the Shastra. I will do whatever I want in spiritual life. Vardate Kama Karinaha. By my wills, I do what I want to do in spiritual life. I don't want to follow the guidance of the scripture. Correct? So what is the result expected? Krishna says, Nata Siddhi Mahapunoti. He will not achieve any perfection. It's like a doctor here. Doctor is following medical science. He is also following. He is representing, but he also has to follow. He is not creator of medical science. He just knows it. And based on that, he gives some recommendation. Not like those injections. The mother was a better doctor in that case. Some, he is giving his recommendation. Then at that moment, you say that you are telling me, you go to the medical shop and he say, what is the prescription? Now he has given this medicine, but you better give me that other medicine. And he has said, you eat in the morning, I eat in the night. He said, take with hot water, I'll take with cold water. He has said, you eat before your meal, I'll eat after meal. What will happen? So Krishna is saying, Nata Siddhi Mahapunoti. You'll never become cured. Na Shanti. You'll never become peaceful. And forget about Paramgati. So it is very much needed that the authority, I told you yesterday, and I've been spending 2-3 weeks on this, that Vedic knowledge is a revealed knowledge. It is not created by anybody out of experiments. Modern day it's a fashion. We experiment and know. It's a revealed knowledge. So we have to accept. And I am limited. So why do I need a guru? Because I am limited. I can't see things by my own eyes properly. I can't hear. When I hear, so many waves I cannot hear. When I see, so many things I can't see. And I make so much mistake. I take rope for a snake or a snake for a rope. I do so many mistakes in my life. I get into illusion and I am a wonderful cheat. With all the deficiencies, how am I about to know the perfect knowledge? When I cannot understand even the creation, how can I understand the creator? Recently they were studying, this is among science only. The universe is expanding. So they calculated the rate of expansion should slow down if it came by an explosion. और बम फटा था तो अभी तो slow जाना चाहिए ना, धीरे धीरे. But whatever way, it's a speculative way, so I can't say this way, that way. But the redshift they are seeing, that's how they calculate the speed of the galaxies moving. The planets and the stars are accelerating rather than slowing down. That's the latest their calculation. Therefore, they have come with something called dark energy, which is pushing it. Because they can, the force of the explosion, it should slow down scientifically. But the galaxy, according to their calculation, because I have to say according to that, because I am not using Vedas now. Because you are all students of modern science, and I am a student of Vedic science. Correct? But taking from their own term, they say the universe is accelerating. This is accelerating. How it is accelerating? It can't accelerate logically. Correct? If it's an explosion, it can't. So they say there is some energy which we cannot see. They call it dark energy. That is what is making it accelerate. That means even the creation, I don't know. Similarly, when they calculated the mass of our galaxy compared to other galaxies and the comparative motions, they figured out that 95% of the mass is invisible. They called it dark matter. The scientific term. And they say it is not electrons, it is not protons, it is not what we know of, and maybe we can't decipher it because it is beyond our observation, but it exists. In fact, Vedas have that, they call it ether. Bhumi abu analo vayu khamono buddhi evata. This ether is not what Greeks have borrowed the term. Kham, akash, space. in the outdated science, it was thought that the space is empty. No modern scientist will tell you that. Particularly quantum scientists never agree space is empty. There are experiments to prove there is no vacuum in this existence. There is something that they call dark matter. That is the Vedas call ether. Or kham. Sanskrit word is kham. Interesting, actually. So, point what I was bringing out you to is that we don't even able to understand after 300 years of study. We ourselves said 95% of what matter is we don't. See, science is dedicated to study matter for whatever reasons that we do not understand. But they don't have to, because just by studying matter they are creating comforts, correct? And people are worshipping them for that. And because people are today are only interested in physical comfort. Now I'm sitting on an asana. If the asana can be more softer, I will be so happy. That's all people are interested in. People are only interested in physical comforts today, isn't it? So therefore, they worship the scientist. So why scientists have to come to us? There is no need for them to study anything except matter. They are studying matter, they are manipulating matter, and the manipulation of matter is creating wonderful physical comforts of society, and the people of the society only want physical comforts. So why? They are worshipping them. Now iPhone 6 is about to come. What will happen? Most of the people, whatever they need is there in iPhone 5. Actually, they go to buy it for what they don't need. But it is little more thinner. It's a little lighter to hold. So they want more comforts, little better screen, more resolution, more memory. Correct? But even what is there, we hardly use. But point is, so the comfort is there more. Correct? You can just look at it, the screen will scroll. You know, all these new comforts are made. You can have finger touch sensor. You know, whatever it is, day by day we are able to manipulate matter, the scientists. They are doing hard work on it. We have to recognize them. And the people only want physical comfort. So why the scientists study anything other than matter? Who will sponsor? They will be unemployed if they do that. You study pure physics. You have to starve. Nobody will give you seed. There are no seeds are empty. Everywhere people study is where is paid. You have a job after that. Suppose you say you study some line in science, and after that there is unemployment. Will you study that? You will not study that. So therefore society is paying for that. They have to do in that direction. So Vedas not only study matter, they study spirit and God also. And Vedas do not limit themselves to only Pratyaksha Pramana. They also take advantage of Shabda Pramana. Not only they take advantage, they say it's a primary way of learning the truth. They have not much faith in Pratyaksha Pramana. Just like if you see the sun. Now Pratyaksha Pramana, it's only a hot plate in the sky. Seeing is believing. If you say, I believe what I see, sun is nothing more than a hot plate in the sky. Is there anything more than that? No. But by knowledge, when you see something more. What? It's a planet much bigger than the earth. Another simple example. We had yesterday, one car broke down. Okay? Car broke down yesterday. What happened? Something happened. Now we didn't know what to do about it. We also opened the car. We were all looking at it. Correct? We didn't know anything what to do. So we were also seeing the car. But then they took to mechanic. Mechanic saw the car. Within 1 minute they said, the belt has broken down. That's it. And he fixed it up within half an hour car. So you are also looking at the car, and the mechanic is also looking at the car. What is the difference? He is looking with knowledge. It's the same thing Krishna did to Arjuna. Arjuna was also looking at the battlefield. Now how can I fight? My grandfather, my teacher, I can't fight. I can't fight. My grandfathers are there, my teachers are there, my uncles are there, even soldiers, even horses, they are also objects of affection. He can see, they will all die. There's elephants, there's horses. So I can't fight this one. What did Krishna do? After hearing Gita, did he stop seeing the battlefield or what? Everything was same. Same arrows Arjuna had. Same knowledge of Divya Astra Arjuna had. Correct? Same people remained on the battlefield. Half an hour after hearing Gita, nothing changed on the battlefield. Everything was exactly same. Why did Arjuna decide to fight now? Some knowledge. So he started seeing the same thing with knowledge. That is the role of Guru. Therefore you require. Guru is not going to do anything. His contribution will be to make you see Divya Drishti. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya. That is the contribution. He will make you blind now. You are not able to see. In fact, you hear to a Guru, effect should be, no, I know that. Never. That effect should never be there. I didn't know that. Oh, that was he made a Guru. Arjuna also, when he heard Krishna, he was all calculated. He was quite confident. He gave, Arjuna first gave chapter, one lesson to Krishna, the first chapter. Because of this reason I will not fight. He was giving like big bhashan. And Krishna in the second chapter said, Ashochan anvashochastam pragyavadam sabhashase. Oh Arjuna, you are talking like a learned man. You know what? Gatasuna chananu shochanti pandita. No, you are a first class idiot. Because no person speak all this nonsense he has spoken. No intelligent man will speak this nonsense. And if you read first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you'll all agree to Arjuna. Correct. How can I throw? He says, my Guru, I can worship him, my Lord. The offering is not ready. He says, I can worship. How can I throw arrows at my Guru? You know, even before the war, finally when the war started, such an etiquette, you all know that I did. Arjuna threw an arrow touching the feet. Dronacharya threw an arrow blessing him. So accurate. हम तो उधर finished. And it's not only that, archery, even if they come for archery, no people can fight. They will get gold medal easily. Arjuna come for archery means, you know that, how he got Draupadi? He do the archery, they do a test like that. They have to look at the point and they are shooting. Give them this test, look in the water air and you have to shoot there. Arjuna was seeing the reflection below and he was shooting above. Correct. And that also the eye of the fish has to be shot. And that was, they had some kind of fan and it was rotating. The fans were also there. And he shot exactly looking there. Archery. But not only they were archers, they knew Divya Astras. They knew a technology by which they can manipulate matter. What the science is doing, they knew that previously. So almost if you look in that direction, science has come along a long way. Previously they knew siddhis, by which they can become lighter than anything and fly in the sky. Yeah, we have aeroplanes today. You can do it in some way. Then you have siddhi by which you can go in, you can become so small, you can go inside stone also, wall, you can go through the wall. Yes, we can make tunnels today, some way we can do that. They have siddhi, they can even run on water. Yeah, we have boats today. So if you look at all these siddhis, some way the science has accomplished that. If you want, it can be revived. Actually, it's not impossible. Just like a child, capacity to walk is there in the child. You have capacity to walk, correct? When you are born. If you don't have capacity to walk, nobody can make you walk. True? All the siddhis are lying dormant within you, all of us. It can be revived. You can have all those siddhis, they are available actually. But in Kali Yuga, the acharyas generally focus because they know these fellows. Therefore, Guru, what they do, they give you some knowledge. And you look at this world in such a way that whole life changes. What happened to Arjuna? He just heard. Correct? That is what he did. And why we have to hear to the Guru? Shabda Pramana, not Pratyaksha Pramana. If it is something I can see and understand, then why do you need a Guru? Suppose your car is not working. If he can see and understand what is wrong, why do we need a mechanic then? You don't need a mechanic. You know I need a mechanic. Mechanics, this is wrong. Hari, I didn't see that. You could just understand, even by the sound. Some are so good, just like doctors. They can feel your, heartbeat. Previously, Ayurveda, they used to have Nadi Vaidya. They will feel your Nadi. You're having headache, huh? Yes. Loose motion is also there. Yes. This is also there. Yes. This is the medicine. Not like today. First they will collect one bottle of blood. But at least some doctors try this, they also try. They try to imitate the Ayurvedic Nadi Vaidya. They put stethoscope and they try to hear. Correct? I remember I had one small operation. So when they put here, they will put the heart. You don't know that. They put a sensor here. Yes. And you can hear your own heartbeat. But. When the surgeon came, I got so scared. The surgeon comes to the door. They're saying, why are you scared? So it's like that. So because knowledge, so we need knowledge. Okay, this is knowledge. This is true. We need a guru. And also another point, we need a guru. We are facing bhayam tivram in this world. Just like this. In this world, any moment, a fearful condition, not fearful condition, bhayam tivram, a very, very fearful condition is waiting all of us. Any moment is going to come. Life is nothing but it is actually full of thorns only. Pleasure we only imagine. Just like when exams are over, how are you? But actually, it's not a pleasure, it is a cessation of misery. When one thorn thing is out, that time you feel little pleasure. Now we need Guru, because we don't want this suffering condition. How can I come out of this suffering condition? When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there was a personality called Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami is the exalted acharyas in our parampara. Our parampara had many great acharyas. Therefore, I request all of you should read all the books, the great authorities. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's 6 disciples were Shad Goswamis. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered them, go to Vrindavan. Whatever are taught, you write down and establish from the scriptures that the mark that I have shown for Kali Yuga, that was Bhakti Marga, chanting the name of the Lord, is the recommended path. Show it. Because there should be Shastra Vidhi. Tomorrow somebody should not come and challenge and have doubt whether this is the Shastra Vidhi for Kali Yuga. To show that piece. So the 6 Goswamis are all great learned scholars. They all came to Vrindavan. They are the disciples of Lord Chaitanya. And they wrote lakhs of shlokas in Sanskrit, compiling the work from different scriptures, establishing that this is the path. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left only 8 shlokas. You know that? Shishnastika. It's very important. It's level by level, higher and higher. What is the shloka? What is the another first one? Anybody knows the first Shishnastika? Hey Sujesh, what is the first Shishnastika? First Shishnastika. Chetu darpanamarjanam mahadavagni nirvapanam Sheya kaiva chandrika vitarana vidya udhi jivanam Ananda Budivardhanam Prativadam Purna Amrita Sadhanam Parabhajayate Shri Krishna. So Sanatana Goswami was a great personality. In fact, he was a minister, chief minister of Nawab Hussain Shah, who was a historical personality. In India was under Muslim rule. And in Bengal, there was a personality called Nawab Hussain Shah, who was a king. And Rupa and Sanatana Goswami were their ministers, and their name were Dabir Khas and Shakir Malik. They were Hindus actually, and from a very respectable family, but they had taken profession under the Muslim king. They were great devotees of the Lord. And when they met Lord Chaitanya, Chaitanya said, come, join my mission. And they left everything. These big ministers, very rich, they left everything. And Sanatana Goswami came to meet Lord Chaitanya in the first meeting, he says. Rather, this is the second one. First meeting, he ordered them to come. Second meeting, he came to meet Lord Chaitanya. And he came to meet Lord Chaitanya, leaving his profession, everything. Right time. At that time he said, what? Ke ami? Who am I? He says, Grame Bhavare Kahe Pandita. In the ordinary village talk, people say I am a learned man, Pandit. But I am such kind of foolish Pandit. I don't even know who am I, and I don't know why I am suffering. Actually, these two questions we don't have an answer. What kind of knowledge can I claim to have? I don't know why I am suffering. I don't know who am I. Okay? I ask you, who are you? I don't know. Somebody calls you on phone. Who are you online? I don't know. You think it is sensible? Isn't it madness? You see, in our whole education system, there are some lacunas actually that we have to fill in. Nobody teaches you who you are. They teach you everything else. What way the shirt is made of, what medicines will make this body healthy, correct? Everything. How the machines work. Which is your department? IS. Information science. How the computers work. They'll teach you everything, but will they ever teach you who you are? They don't bother to spend time on that, which is unfortunate. And then they may give us some kind of knowledge, but the main suffering that we have in our life, what are the main suffering in our life? Birth, death, old age, disease. These are the 4 sufferings in our life. Nobody has any solution for that. Death is coming. Does any scientist have a solution? You go to any hospital, beds are increasing. If medical science is so developed, they should make one tablet, no? When a born child, give it to the child, no more sickness. Beds are increasing, not decreasing. You compare even proportion to the population, beds are increasing faster. Somebody said population is also increasing. No, beds are increasing faster. The question is, if medical science is very developed, no, I am not discrediting medical science, I have all respect, but I am showing the limitation. That diseases have not stopped. Old age has not stopped. Death has not stopped. And birth suffering, all of when we are born, we are crying, not laughing. Correct? You are suffering. And you don't know, in that moment of the birth, you can ask, leading gynecologists are here, death can occur for anybody, even the mother. It's a very critical moment at that moment. Any suddenly bleeding can start. It's a very critical time. Therefore, you see, whenever any family delivery is about to happen, all close relatives, nobody goes anywhere, they are there. They know it's a critical moment. And Bhagavatam tells something even more that is beyond your pratyaksha pramana. That is actually, we have to learn that, to take information from Shabda Pramana. Shabda Pramana has to come from the Lord, not ordinary Shabda, from great authorities. Don't limit ourselves. Science means to limit ourselves to take knowledge from only Pratyaksha Pramana. Why limit myself? Why not take knowledge also from Shabda Pramana, from the Vedas? Why don't you take knowledge? See, at the end, how does it matter whether the knowledge was received from the Lord or it was experimented? If it helps me either ways, it's fine, no?